from the Illinois National Guard. There's armored cars and tanks and jeeps.
Hey guys, so today I'm at the ULEZ, anti-ULEZ expansion protest outside BBC headquarters. This is where we are. If you can see it, it's just behind me over there. And as you can see, some of the ULEZ convoy cars are already here. There's speeches going on. There's a bunch of people here, lots of noise and a lot of support from passerbys. Let's go check out what's going on and talk to a few people about why they're here today.
Hi, Simon Forthrop, Bromley Councillor, here again on the ULEZ demo outside the BBC. And I don't know if you want to just pan around because there's a whole load of people here. Come to demonstrate the fact that the BBC, as usual, doesn't report the ULEZ issue properly. Last Thursday, when they got a shock from the by-election in Uxbridge, they had to wake up and start reporting bits and pieces, but they still don't get it. Why won't they come out today and talk to people? Why won't they report it? What's their raison d'etre? If you look at the result in Uxbridge, 94% of people who voted for candidates who'd expressed some degree of scepticism about ULEZ. Phenomenal, 94%. And the BBC doesn't want to cover that. And they don't want to cover these demonstrators because they're so biased. And I challenge them, here and now, come out, interview us, talk to us, have a chat. We'll talk about the toxic air and Khan's lies. Nobody's actually died from toxic air. Really, BBC, where are you? Absent again, without any thought as to what's going on, and possibly because it doesn't suit your agenda. But please, I'm saying to you, come here, I'll talk to you. Any of these people out here will talk to you. Where are you? Come on out, and don't hide away, don't be shy. Come on, BBC.
He was wrong. It wasn't 90% of people that voted for candidates that expressed views that were sceptical ULEZ.
We got 94% vote in Uxbridge against ULEZ. There were a few candidates, but every single candidate took more and more and more votes off Labour. Labour have stuffed up the people. They're not the party for the people anymore. They've been overtaken by the elites and their own vested interests. It's time for Sadiq Khan to resign. It's time for Keir Starmer to wake up and someone else to take over the Labour Party, because it's not the Labour Party anymore, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. That's the way it is anymore.
Kingsley, you did an amazing job getting the awareness out there and the messaging out there from the fact that you actually stood in that election.
Yeah.
What kind of response and feedback did you get from people?
A lot of people were saying that they support me, but some were going to tactically vote for Steve Tuckwell, which is fine, because obviously we've got an anti-ULEZ candidate who's been successful in Uxbridge. That was the main thing. It wasn't about me, it was about ULEZ.
No, but where I think you succeeded was getting the message and awareness out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've started this a long time ago. I mean, a lot of people said to me, this guy's local, vote for this guy, but I've been campaigning on this long before there was an election on my doorstep, and indeed it wasn't on my doorstep, so I've had to work my butt off for this. I managed to get 47,000 leaflets out to every single house in Uxbridge. Don't know how we managed it, but we did. But I can't do it without all these people, you know. I'm not going to take the credit for today because this wasn't organised by me, it was organised by Nick and Toby.
What you do have to take credit for is keeping this box going, because this has been to every protest and every event, even to your election thing.
Yep.
How is it still intact?
I try and look after it and try not to get it wet in the rain, so I'm going to have to dry it and look after it. Yeah. But actually, it's funny because when I went into the election hall, the assistant, what's the person called who does the voting thing?
The person person that does the voting
The person
thing.
who does the voting thing said, no, that can't be in here. Get it out, get it out, get it out. But of course, Count Bin Face was allowed to bring his bin in.
yeah,
So I was a bit like, look, come on, this is my iconic thing that I've brought with me. And the thing is, the reason democracy is dead is because A, the consultation was ignored by Sadiq Khan. B, we have this terrible system called first past the post. I believe we should have either proportional representation or at least the alternative vote. But we don't. So a lot of people say, oh, my vote's wasted. Well, it is under the first past the post system. It's the first past the post system that's wrong, not lots of candidates standing. But I'm still pleased lots of candidates stood because, as I say, it did take the vote away from Labour. That's what we needed because we need to send a message. Yeah.
What are these badges you've got on your jacket here?
Okay, so I'm a Royal Air Force Association standard bearer. So that's my badge for being a Royal Air Force Association standard bearer. So I'm a volunteer. I go to veterans' funerals. I pay my respects with a big flag.
You do a lot of amazing work for the community. I know that you do a lot of tours for people in your bus as well. And
yeah, take homeless people on day trips to the beach and stuff. In fact, on Sunday next week, I'm doing one for the users of a food bank I volunteer for. So I volunteer for Don's Local Action Group, which is a food bank based in South West London.
So I just want to make this point that a lot of people talk about the people who are against ULEZ, they're anti-climate, they're unsociable, they're right-wing.
Absolutely
not. The thing is, the amount of effort that I know, as a fact, as a now, I think I can call you a friend now.
Absolutely, thank you.
I know from how much you do and from following all your activities, you do a great deal for community work.
Yeah, I mean, I think my mum said to me before she died, she said, you must never walk past the kindness. And every day I'm doing something but I'm not doing it to make me look good. I want other people to copy. I want it to be an example to other people so that other people go, hey, and I'm a very much a get on with it and do it yourself attitude. If there's a problem, deal with it yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
Keep up the great work, Kingsley.
Thank you very much, sir. Cheers, brown car guy, superstar.
Hi, my name's Jada and I'm here today to protest about ULEZ. Right now I'm next to my dad's taxi because we just like protesting. We don't like Sadiq Khan. We want to get him out. We don't think that ULEZ is like a really good thing to decide on because it's like ruining like people's not mental health, but kind of, you get what I'm saying. But it's not. I don't think that they should go along with ULEZ. Like, it's not a really good thing. You see the amount of people that's protesting today, like, we don't like it. I don't want my kids to grow up saying, oh, I have to pay, and then the price will go up. You see what I'm saying? It's just not nice. It's not a nice thing. Like, London is our home. We want to go up London to see the attractions. We don't want to see we don't want to pay money to see. It's just not normal.
As the future mayor of London, don't trample over Londoners, please. That's the last thing you need to do.
That would be a great skeleton in my cupboard.
Howard, we're here. We're just finding a little bit of sanctuary outside of the out of the rain, but we're here outside BBC Centre. Quite a big turnout.
Yeah, it's great news. A lot of people. It shows just how people are really incensed, and that was shown on Thursday with the Uxbridge by-election. And I've said time and time again to Keir Starmer. I've met him 4 or 5 weeks ago in Portcullis House. I said, why has he not sacked or suspended Sadiq Khan from his party? Because he's been dishonourable, dishonest. He's manipulated public consultations, and he came back and said, well, he's very popular. I said, well, look at last Thursday's vote.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. But also, isn't it time that Keir Starmer became a little bit more decisive about what he wants to do when it comes to ULEZ?
Well, as we know, he's famous for flip-flopping all over the place, isn't he? Look at the North Sea oil licences, etc. It's simple. Listen to the people, the majority of the people, not the lycra-clad spads, the people, right up involved in environmental issues. Focus on what matters to people's pockets. Small businesses, plumbers, electricians, the midwife who has to do a double shift overnight, and these sorts of things, who have to pay twice, and it's not worth them working.
But also, we have to keep responding to the same things that Khan says over and over again regarding the deaths and the pollution in the city. And the thing is, I've just come here on the tube. You can smell the pollution down there. Right now, we're in a crowded part of London. It feels fine.
Well, I've just held an air quality control unit, which I used recently in the underground. Here, it just said good, all particulates. And particulates are the most dangerous ones. And guess where they're most prevalent? You just alluded to it. 1,800% more particulates in the underground. I went to 15 stations and went through them. It was astonishing. And as you say, you can taste it. And I was called by a person who works underground this morning, and he's going to do a bit of whistleblower, and I'll make sure you're involved with this.
Okay, cool.
But he wants to be interviewed because he told me, here's a picture of me when I start a shift. He blew his nose, it's all clean. Then he blew his nose after at the end of the shift. I'm not telling you what it looked like.
I can imagine.
But the simple thing is, why are our politicians not recognising common sense? We all want clean air.
Tell me this, Howard. Like, if you become mayor of London, and hopefully you will, when you become mayor of London, what are you going to do about the tube? Can it be clean? Can it be addressed?
Yeah, I think it can be on the basis of if you go to Moscow. Should we pop off to Moscow now?
Let's do that now,
their tube underground station.
The weather might be better there.
They have underground. They have actually beautiful, these beautiful tree areas, all that sort of thing. They also have these incredibly sophisticated air conditioning filtration units.
Right.
Which I know, instead of spending money on silly things like renaming some of our underground tubes in Islamic, which is what Sadiq Khan said, spend the money on where it matters, helping people with health, and stop penalising drivers. And that's the important thing. And another thing, a little thing you can do actually is cut the fares, because he's putting the fares up for us to be breathing all that shit.
Yeah, we should be seeking compensation. Anyway, great to see you again, Howard, and good luck with the campaign.
It's a pleasure, as usual. Thank you.
Hey man, how you doing? Now you told me that you came here today because of me. Why do you feel strongly about ULEZ?
Because it affects me directly. I've got a car and I've got a van. The van's compliant, the car's not. I can't put my elderly parents in a van because it's too cramped. Put me in a car, go everywhere. Now it's just going to... Before I leave my door, I've got to pay £12.50. I've only got to go to the end of my road, which is 100 yards, and I'm in that zone. It's not fair.
Yeah.
We're in a nice area where the air is clean, a little bit better than what we are here today, but it's better than what we got. And we're going to penalise it for no reason.
Do you think that this is getting more urgent now that we've had the election in Uxbridge and the people have kind of spoken, right?
Yeah, it is. Not enough people are standing up. Today's a good crowd, but we need more people to stand up and say enough is enough. Our pockets are deep, our arms are getting shorter, we can't keep going for that, last little bit of it. It's going to criminalise us.
Yes, that's right. Great point, well made. Thanks so much for coming down. Good to see you, man.
No problem.
We've got a whole family here that's come down. It's a family day out, is it?
Yeah.
So tell me why you're here today.
Basically against the ULEZ expansion, because it's not going to help anybody. It's just going to penalise hard-working people of London. It's not going to contribute anything to the air quality. After all, as you've seen in your videos, the pollution on the underground is far worse, and there isn't a toxic air problem in London, and that's basically, and it's nothing but a cash grab on the hard-working people of London.
Did you come on the tube, or you?
Yeah, I came on the tube, and when I blow my nose, I know it's not going to look great. So that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. So thank you.
And how are you feeling about ULEZ now?
Well, I feel the same. I don't think that it's a fair tax on people. Obviously, I'm supporting my brother-in-law. I'm actually out of London. I don't even know that, but I want to think a little bit further ahead because it's starting this way. What's coming next? And definitely paying per mile. I'm definitely opposed to that. So I do find it's a bit an infringement to our liberty and our freedom. So
no, absolutely right. Absolutely right. And are you happy to be spending your day out in the rain here at a ULEZ protest?
She's my daughter.
I think it's 100% worth it for the right cause as well, because we need to think far ahead into the future. And again, in a cost of living crisis, this exacerbates poverty, especially on support workers and people who don't have that high income.
Do you think more young people should be thinking about this more carefully?
Yeah, 100%. However, I do feel that to a certain extent young people have become a bit more conditioned to not think further ahead because we're kind of sheltered, especially when we're privileged. We are privileged to a certain extent, so we don't think about people outside our sphere of influence as well. So I do think, young people need to think further than what they're being told at universities, by institutions as well. And they need to think about people who don't have the same socioeconomic status as them as well, because it will affect them in the future.
Very well said. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy the day. So who are you?
My name's Louise.
And you said you went to the People's Question Time. Did you ask that kind of question?
I asked him a specific question. I'm supporting people today who can't afford to change their car cars, businesses, charities who are really affected by this. I feel very strongly for it. And I asked him how he's going to support people that do not fulfil the criteria for his scrappage scheme but cannot afford to buy another vehicle. Did he answer my question? Of course he didn't. He just told me what he wanted to tell me. Mr. Khan, I'm still waiting for an answer to my question.
Don't you feel that politicians really are completely clueless when it comes to the car industry and cars? For example, it's very easy to say people should buy a new car. What they don't realize is that there's a shortage of cars right now.
I had to be very careful because of my job, so I had to be completely apolitical, to be honest with you. But I'm very anti-ULEZ, and it's not everybody that can afford to buy another car.
The point I'm making is not about politics. What I'm saying is that, for example, the car industry itself is struggling because there's been a big shortage of cars.
Yes,
so to impose this upon people at a time when there frankly aren't enough new and used cars.
Totally right, because I read the other day and saw on the news that cars have gone up by 45%. Those second-hand cars which are ULEZ compliant. I have a second-hand car, 25-year-old Ford Fiesta. I love it. I have no intention of getting rid of it. I'm not going to be blackmailed into changing my car. So there we go.
Excellent. Well done, you.
Thank you.
They had a dry run.
What are those?
Missiles to our friend Mr. Khan.
Oh my God! Are they live?
And the non-biased BBC.
Nicely done.
They can share it.
Very nicely done. Oh my goodness. Oh look, the brown car guy has found a brown car.
I told you I was a brown car.
This is a proper brown car, isn't it? This is excellent. This is about as brown as you get.
Yeah.
What? 1982?
Yeah.
I had a 79. Mine was the beige with the vinyl, brown vinyl roof on it. Yeah. But it looks fantastic. How long have you had it?
About 5 years now.
And
my son bought it originally.
Right.
He couldn't get all the kids in it because of the lack of seat belts in the back.
Right. Have you had to do much to it, or it's running fine?
Keep up with the servicing, it's all right, which I haven't done this year. That's why I broke down the road on the way.
Oh no! But, I'll tell you what, that sums up my Cortina experience. I have to be honest with you. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
It's been a while.
It has, yes.
How was the response to that thing that we did on your radio show?
Oh yes, it had lots of views, and it still is as well. I keep putting it up on Facebook every now and again, but yeah, it went round really well. Like the other station manager was really pleased with it.
Oh really? Oh, that's good.
And I loved your artwork.
It made us look good, didn't it?
Like a couple in love.
We don't look so great today because we're kind of rain-soaked a little bit.
Yes, definitely.
but you've come out here today.
Yes.
I mean, okay, apart from the rain, it's a great atmosphere though, isn't it?
It is, yes, and there's loads of people here as well, which is really good, really good. You know, we did Red Hill last week.
You did? Yeah. And what of the people that you've spoken to in terms of your listeners and also in your community, what are they saying about ULEZ now?
Well, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of like, sort of when we've done Red Hill last week, there was a lot of people stopped, and this one person said, you know, brand new Range Rover, whatever it was, and he said, you know, I've got to sell this next week. I said, why? He said, because ULEZ is coming. I said, no, why don't you wait for the court cases? And his answer was, what court cases? Because it's just not being publicised.
There's not enough awareness.
No, there's not.
Do you think that the awareness is going to grow now that we've had the election in Uxbridge? And it seems to me like a lot more people are covering it now.
Oh, I've been flicking through the channels this morning, and there's been a lot of it out there, a lot of it. Yeah, I think people are more aware, and
I think it's fair to say that ULEZ is trending now, finally.
Yes, thank goodness.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, and you take care. Thank you.
I'm Ravindra Gacha from Hounslow.
And you're a regular face at these protests,
I am. I haven't missed anyone other than Imam Lodge. But I got 3 cars in the family. They all are compatible with the ULEZ the rules, whatever demand they are asking for. But I'm here for the public, who I feel sorry for them, who have to go to work in the night shift, and they have to pay £25. You got £12.50 to go to work,
and then £12.50 to come back the next day. Yeah,
I do feel sorry for them. People are struggling to pay for their food bills, and God knows what's going to happen to them if the things goes on.
So it's amazing that you've come out to all of these events, including today, considering it's raining today, but because you feel that strongly about how it's going to affect the community.
Of course I do. I feel sorry for the public.
Do you think enough people are aware of what's happening?
No. I'm sure not many people are aware of it. Because I tell so many people, you want to come and join me? Oh, I haven't got time and this and that and that. Maybe they have got a time, but because they're not interested, they got a new cars and whatever. I got a good cars. I don't mind.
But do you think that they're going to realize if it actually happens on August the 29th, when people start getting fines and bills and increases in services and products, when people come to their like tradesmen and stuff are going to add it to the bill, etc., aren't they?
Obviously, obviously they're going to have a pinch. They will feel the pinch. Paying a £12.50 is not going to clean the air. But it's going to make the people suffer more. Now how about I live in Hounslow. Okay, now we got aircrafts going on. Is he going to stop the aircrafts? No.
Now, check it out. Why are we out here getting completely soaked?
Well, we're here protesting ULEZ once again in the middle of summer, outside the BBC, where they haven't told the truth from day one and called us all far right, even though we're just Londoners who oppose this dreadful scheme. Isn't that right?
Yes, I would just like to add as well that Sadiq, if you do find your asthma pump at some point in the near future, then obviously hand it over to TfL's collection and you'll find it there.
Well, you need it on the underground anyway. I'll tell you what, Matthew. I think ULEZ is suddenly trending now, isn't it? It seems to be in all of the news channels and everything. Do you think that we're finally going to have a serious conversation about this?
Well, we've been having serious conversations from day one. It's the mayor who's not been listening, right? We had people's question time where you and I met, and I asked the mayor, you know, are you listening to London? You listen to Londoners. We don't want ULEZ, etc., etc. He replied saying, well, how much is a child's life worth? Well, the answer to him, £12.50, but we won't get into that. The point is that we're having serious conversations, because I'm a local councillor, and I've talked to residents whose businesses are going to go bust. I've talked to staff in restaurants who are asking for pay rises to cover ULEZ, otherwise they're not going to come to work.
But don't you feel that discussion in the mainstream media of ULEZ has been marginalised and pushed aside, right? Until now, maybe.
It has until now, and I think the by-election in Uxbridge is going to make a lot of difference. Not straight away, but I think in the coming weeks you're going to see a real different attitude towards this, and a different attitude to a lot of MPs, both Labour and Conservative, to be honest with you, in the way they think about this situation.
We've already seen the Labour Party start tearing itself apart. We've seen Angela Rayner say that we need to rethink this. Keir's called, said to Sadiq Khan he needs to have a think again. Listen, we've been saying this for months. This isn't a party political issue. This is a London issue. This is something which people do not want. People said no in the consultation. They're saying no right now, and this mayor isn't listening.
And ultimately, the power is with the people. Do you think the people have spoken now?
The power is with the people, as I said in my question, and as I will keep saying every time I'm asked. The point is, we elect the mayor. We can unelect him. The 2nd of May 2024 is the next election. Khan is running. I don't know if he'll still be on the ballot paper by that point, but we need to kick Khan out and vote for a mayor that actually puts Londoners first. Listen to Londoners, listen to the people. We need to scrap ULEZ, stop the ULEZ expansion, and restore some faith in our city.
I think one last thing as well, I think ultimately as well, if you put ULEZ aside for 1 second, there needs to be serious talk and serious investigation into TfL's finances, because you can rack this all day long, but the numbers don't match up of what he spent. Absolutely. I mean, he even come out the other day and said that going on about the cost of living crisis is going to affect, and TfL, or the government's erroneous funding of TfL. And I'm like, you've been given so much money. Where is it? He's
been given over £6 billion by the government. TfL fares are the highest. It's the highest metro fares in the world. His own report says that ULEZ will have a negligible impact, but if anybody ever goes on the London Underground, that's where the air pollution is.
Oh, as I've seen.
There's been study after study showing that every single journey on the London Underground is the equivalent to smoking a cigarette. Imagine that, right? Commuters every day, twice a day, going into London and out of London, 2 cigarettes a day, 5 days a week, 365 days a year. What are the knock-on effects on cancer rates and things like that?
So maybe those 4,000 deaths that he keeps talking about.
It's his fault. It's his fault. He is fiddling the numbers. He's not listening to Londoners, and he is trying to tax us out of our city. So we have to stop Sadiq, stop ULEZ, and kick Khan out.
Let's get one thing straight. Them 4,000 deaths from possible respiratory diseases, let's make no mistake about it. They are from severely poor living conditions in certain areas of London. This has been well documented. Islington, Harrow. We see videos the other day of mushrooms growing off of people's walls. So he goes on about how it affectionately or it affects the poorest and the minorities, the blacks and everything. But these are the people that are living in these poor living conditions. So again, it don't add up.
The mayor of London. Let's get real. The mayor of London has a budget of £19 billion. He could transform this city. He could make it the hub of the world. But what we've seen, council tax shares go up by 54%, most expensive tube fares in the world, ULEZ taxing millions of people across London every single day to go about their normal lives, or emergency visits to the hospital, or take the kids to school. He is destroying our city. London shuts down at 9:30, and yet his night Tsar this week got a freedom of the city. I don't know what's going on there. We need to get Khan out and open the books on his years as mayor, because London it's been utterly changed, and as a young person, this is our city, this is our future, and I don't recognise London anymore. There's big questions that need to be asked.
I think that's a good point at which to end it, also because my hand's getting very tired.
Speak soon.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these 3 little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.